Hey everybody out there in the YO universe, this is Survivor 2002 coming at you again from the secret lair in Virginia. This is week 8 of So You Think You Can Dance, and we are getting that close to the finish line. You can actually see the tape now. So rather than just sit here and individually pick apart all the performances and go from start to finish, I think I'd like to have a real quick conversation about where it is that we are right now, how we got here, and maybe make a prediction or two about where it is that we're going. Now, last night, we saw the usual progression of performances. There were some that were absolutely phenomenal, some that were good, and some that were so-so, either based on people's ability to perform them or on the creation of the pieces themselves and whether or not they were even worth doing in some cases. But we are now down to 3 and 3, our final 6. For the guys, we have Evan, Brandon, and Ade. On the girls' side, we have Melissa, KAYLA, and JANINE. Now, the judges have been making really impassioned pleas about we need to see more personality. You've got to make yourself pop and stand out from the crowd because we're down to the wire here. If they find themselves painted into this corner now because even though the performers are technically more than capable and they're not really standing out, personality-wise, because as far as that goes, no one's strength is greater than anybody else's, they only have themselves to blame. I guess when you see so many people through so many different auditions in so many cities, just like over on American Idol, you can lose the ability to maintain some kind of objectivity, because I hear this year after year after year. People always go, oh my God, there were 3 people last night in St. Louis who were so good and none of them made it through. What the hell were they thinking? Well, basically, when you're hearing so many different people who are god-awful or just normal, just average or just really good but not fantastic, I guess you get a tin ear or you develop a kind of a set of blinders on so that you get to a point where you miss some people. Or you see somebody that does stand out, but maybe technically they're just not as good as the rest of the people. And I think that's what happened with the judges this season. They fell so in love with people's technical ability that they didn't really kind of parcel out, well, this girl's good and this girl's good, but neither one of them have personalities that are going to pop on camera. And that's really what's supposed to make these reality shows bigger than life personalities, which we really don't see a lot of from this group this season. The kids obviously have great talent, they love to dance, and it shows, and they can perform in some cases just about anything you throw at them and there's no problem. But personality-wise, seriously, Brandon just as much admitted last night, and Mary, I thought her head was going to explode when he said that he was lacking self-esteem. And now I can kind of understand what it was about him. Maybe it's rubbed me the wrong way. I took it as a kind of smugness, but maybe it's his camouflage for the fact that he's scared half to death. In spite of the fact that technically, he is probably the best dancer out of anybody in the competition, period. He reprised his solo from, I guess, the first audition that got him into the competition in the first place last night, and it shows. Nobody else can do what he does, but then again, nobody else can do what Evan does, and he does it beautifully. And Ade, same thing. I think what it comes down to is that you have to kind of vote with your heart at this point, because there aren't any Benjis, there aren't any Lacey's, there aren't any Travis Walls, no Sabras, no Twitches or Hawks this year. There just is not anyone with that personality that kind of eradicates the memory of everybody else. You're going, oh my God, this person has got to win So You Think You Can Dance. That's my favorite dancer as far as I'm concerned, and it should be America's favorite dancer. So based just on popularity at this point, I am still going to go with my gut and predict that for the guys, it's still going to be Evan. For the girls, it's still going to be KAYLA. Because of all the people that are still remaining in the competition, these are the two personalities that are not strong and not bigger than life, but they're memorable. Evan for that happy-go-lucky, light-footed way he has of performing his routine, and KAYLA because she just puts so much joy into movement when she dances. Not that everyone else is lacking that, but with these two, it just seems to be more memorable than with anybody else. So I think that the judges need to take their own advice, go back and watch the tapes, in fact, go back and watch everything from this season and learn from their mistakes. The fact is that if you're going to want to have strong personalities for a season, you might have to sacrifice not seeing that style come out very first thing. In fact, isn't that what the show is supposed to be about? Seeing people grow and build up on their skill levels as they go along, as they experience all these different kinds of dances and work with all these different kinds of choreographers and personalities, I might add. But yeah, they need to keep that in mind for the next season if they don't want to find themselves stuck in the very same place that they have this time. But from what I understand, next week, when we come down to our final four, that's it. We will know who America's favorite dancer will be, and I would say it's either going to be Evan or KAYLA. Brandon, if he doesn't make it, I don't think is going to be hurting for any kind of employment. People are more than aware of his skills at this point in time. And if he does win, you know, can't be mad at him. But I'm going to go with the people who I think are destined for that award, and I think it's going to be Evan and KAYLA. But we will see tonight exactly where this road is going to take us, because like I said, the tape to the finishing line is right there in front. Somebody's going to hit it next week, and we'll find out who. Details for last night's show, of course, are going to be on the side of the screen there, so look those up. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on the flip side next week when we end the show, hopefully, with a bang and not a whimper. So until then, take care.